I wonder if you all can hear the rain out there. Ugh. I think I got this on my teeth. I wonder if you can hear the thunder or the rain hitting the window. I guess I'll see whenever I'm editing. Oop, gotta scoot over. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we have a 34-week pregnancy update. I'm doing another one before, you know, time passes and I don't do one for weeks at a time. We're gonna do a 34-week pregnancy update. So here is baby belly, maybe. Here's what we're going with. This is the first one that you're catching of our like little pregnancy series. Jake and I don't know what we're having. No one knows what we're having, actually. So we will see when baby comes. When baby's gonna come, whenever baby wants to come. I do have some updates from the last one, even though it wasn't that long ago that I filmed my previous one. I think I was technically like 31.5 weeks pregnant. I'm 34 weeks today. I did have a request to, in the next pregnancy update, there we go, from Amy Briggs. She said, she asked if I can answer this question. Have you had any embarrassing or TMI symptoms, like lots of gas or farting during your pregnancy? So I figured I could kind of touch on some TMI stories in this, because I definitely have had a few TMI moments throughout this pregnancy. And I mean, it might be nice to know that, you know, you're not alone. And I mean, it you know, it happens. You know, your body's doing something crazy. My body is doing something crazy right now that blows my mind that I'm even able to do, or that the human body is able to do. It's so, I can't even think about it. Like the fact that the belly can grow and things know to move, but everything still, you know, works and it grows a whole new muscle. Like a human is growing inside me, and it's crazy to me. Crazy. I can't get into it because it just blows my mind. But I definitely have had some TMI kind of symptoms. So where to begin? I guess, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Girl. I did not mean to smack your nose. I'm sorry, sweetness. I don't remember if I touched on this in my last, oh, I think I did. Acid reflux. Once I hit the 3rd trimester, acid reflux has come at me in full swing, without a doubt. It's something I have to deal with every day, and it doesn't matter what I eat or drink, although there are things, you know, that can make it worse, like Coke. If I drink a Coke, I'm probably going to have acid reflux. Something more acidic-y, I'm going to have acid reflux. However, I have learned it doesn't really matter what it is. I can, you know, have it come back up in some capacity. That's really gross. And honestly, for me, it's not even like it stays as a tingle in my throat. It comes to the back. So TMI, weird symptom. Mine comes all the way up. Like I feel like I might expel it, but then it goes straight back down. But it doesn't matter what it is. Water does it to me too. It's just a thing. Although water hurts way less, you know, than like Coke or something. It's way less disgusting to me when water makes its way back, as opposed to anything else. Another kind of embarrassing thing, I have a lot of, I'm gonna say gas, but not even just like, you know, tooting. Also burping. Every time I get up, if I'm sitting, I probably burp. Like, you know, because I mean, you know, you're all crouched in that position, and whenever I stand and stretch and get up, I most likely burp. And I told Jacob, I'm pretty sure it was just like yesterday or 2 days ago, I was like, I'm sorry, but I also don't know what people do who are pregnant and they don't do that around their significant other or spouse. Jacob and I, we do. Not that I'm riding a high horse or say you need to, you know, fart in front of your man, burp in front of your man, you know, because I mean, it is, you know, deemed rude or inappropriate, but listen, everybody passes gas, everybody poops, everybody burps. Well, I don't know if everybody burps, but I burp. And we, like a month into dating, we were like, okay, we know that it happens. It's okay if it happens. I'm not going to think less of you. You're not going to think less of me. You know, if somebody does that, But I told him, I was like, I don't know how people do it who are pregnant, and they don't typically, you know, do that in front of their significant other. Not that there's anything wrong with not. I totally see why not. You know, it's not very appealing in any way, but I was like, being pregnant, I feel like I do it like 20 times more, and I can't imagine that pain of holding it in, you know? Like, not pregnant, let alone being pregnant. So, listen, sometimes a toot, sometimes a burp. It happens. It happened to be not pregnant, but I definitely feel like it's happening more being pregnant. Definitely more now that there's significantly less room in everywhere. Another thing, I don't remember if I exactly touched on in my last video, I am getting stretch marks. I do use Neutrogena body oil to try and like help, and I do think that it has helped prevent, you know, some stretch marks or for them getting super bad, but I still have them. But I mean, I really don't care. Jacob doesn't care. I know that they're like a really taboo type topic. It can be really sensitive for people, you know, they don't like their stretch marks. And I mean, I can see that. At first, whenever I saw I was starting to get them, I was kind of insecure about it too. And then I was just like, I thought about why I was getting them. And even if you get them, you know, not pregnant, it doesn't matter. You know, it's just a change in your body. But, you know, for me, whenever I realized that I was getting them, because I've had them before, like I have them on my legs because I just have like bigger thighs. Jacob has them from where he had worked out, and, you know, things stretched because he used to be super skinny, and then he started working out, and so he got stretch marks. But for me, I've realized that I don't care that I have them. I mean, I don't go around just showing them off, but, you know, my body's doing this crazy thing. I've never had a tummy before, and now I definitely do. So it's only natural. My body has to stretch somewhere, and it can't stretch up anymore. And I'm a pretty, you know, petite, short, small person. It's got to go out, so my body has to stretch. So I kind of thought it was inevitable if I got a belly that I would get stretch marks. But I've even got stretch marks, you know, on the cleavage, because, you know, that gets bigger, and it happens. And I've also got a lot of tenderness happening right in here. I hope my brother isn't watching this, because that's weird. That's weird. But I do have a lot of tenderness here. I try, you know, put lotion and stuff and the body oil there as well to kind of help with any dryness, discomfort. I hope this is what you meant whenever you were talking TMI, because it's what we're getting. I got some more TMI things. For example, Jacob and I, we were just sitting on the couch the other day, and I peed myself. I didn't even know I had to pee. And it wasn't like the baby like moved or kicked that I really remember, but stuff came out. Just came out. I peed my pants probably at least 20 times. Sometimes, like one time, I went to the bathroom, like, and peed fully, I thought, and like nothing else came out whenever I was pushing to pee. You know, got up, and about 15 minutes later, I peed my pants. And it wasn't like a little amount of pee, it was like a good amount of pee, and I was like, what the heck, body? It happens, you know? It happens. There's a lot of extra pressure on your bladder when you're pregnant. And I assume, you know, after having a baby, you know, things are not like they were before. I know, you know, people who have had their baby then still can sometimes wet themselves, which is totally fine. I mean, think about what your body went through. No one cares. Just take care of it. And then I do worry about sneezing. I really like clench everything whenever I know I'm about to sneeze, because I know if I don't, something's gonna come out. That's just the body, man. It's gross, but it's just the body. If you do find yourself doing it more, I would probably recommend wearing like a panty liner or something, just to kind of help with that. There was a time there whenever I was so scared and paranoid about doing it, especially if I were at work, that I would wear one to work just in case, you know, because you never know what's gonna happen. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be a public service announcement. drink lots of water. And I know everybody's like, yeah, I know, it's stupid. Well, okay. I thought I was drinking enough water. Now, apparently I wasn't. So yesterday, whenever I'm filming this actually, it was 2 nights ago, I laid down and I laid on my side and was about to go to bed. The worst abdominal pain in my life. Felt like super bad cramps, like a big stabbing motion. But I was like, this isn't contractions or like Braxton Hicks, because Braxton Hicks, they said whenever, you know, you get up and you walk around and you change position, you're fine. But I rolled on the other side, I tried my back, and I could still feel it everywhere. It would shoot around, it would shoot to my back, it would shoot up. It was all over the place. And I was like, maybe it's just gas or something, you know. So I went to sleep, and then it was still happening the next morning. And so I called my doctor, and they had me go in to the hospital just to get checked out, because they couldn't tell if it was contractions. I couldn't tell if it was contractions. I had no idea what it was. It was all weird. And so, you know, they hooked me up to all these things, and the pain had kind of subsided, but it wasn't as bad if I were just sitting or walking around. And so they get me all hooked up, and they've got the little thing that's kind of monitoring contractions, and they can see like little humps happening every now and again. Not for long, but just like little, they call it irritation. And I was like, okay, well, like, what does that mean? Is this like a Braxton Hicks type thing? And she's like, I'm not 100% sure, but it could be that you need more fluids. Like you don't have enough for this big muscle. You know, your uterus grows. And I mean, it's a huge muscle. Like it's, you know, usually not that big, and now it's much larger. And I was like, okay. So they hooked me up to an IV. They got some fluids in me. I had to stay for, I think we were there for like a total of like 5 hours or so, 4 or 5 hours. About an hour getting fluids, and then 2 hours to watch me afterwards. All because I was dehydrated. It was great. But it was really scary because I was like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, am I just being paranoid? I can't tell, because, I mean, this pain genuinely hurt. Like, it was probably like a 7. And it never really went away, which is why I didn't think it was a true contraction. Because it would, like, dull a little, but it wouldn't go away. Like, it was still painful. It would go from, like, a 3, 4 to a 7, 8, you know, kind of just depending. But I realized, I started thinking about it, and I was like, I drank 2 of these huge things a day. And this is 40 ounces, if you're wondering. You're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces. And I was like, I know that should be fine for me. Well, I started thinking about it, I was like, Gracie, you've gained more weight than what you were even a few months ago. You know, naturally, baby gets bigger, XYZ. And I was like, you dingus. You dingus, you had to go to the hospital because you were dehydrated because you forgot to increase your water intake as you got bigger. And I know some people are probably like, you're dumb. And I'm like, you're right. But I just didn't even think about it because I'm not used to, you know, I haven't, besides my belly, I haven't felt like I've gained a ton of weight, even though I know whenever I go to the doctor, I see that the scale gets higher and whatnot. But anyways, so I'll now be drinking more water. And also, it's super hot. I didn't even take into consideration how hot it is outside. Granted, I don't spend all the time in the world outside, you know, just because it's kind of miserable. I'm not outside right now because it's pouring rain. But, like, I'm sweating. Like, it's dead of summer, and I'm big pregnant, and I'm sweating a lot more. I'm sweating more whenever I sleep, too, even inside. We have, like, 3 fans going at a time in the AC because I get hot. I just sweat a lot more right now. So, and I didn't even think about that I need to drink more water for that. So this is my PSA. Drink more water. Right, if you think you're getting enough, drink an extra, whatever you designate you're drinking. Drink extra. Just do it. Probably even in the winter too, but especially if you are big pregnant in the heat, even if you're not going outside, if you find yourself sweating more than normal, like I find myself sweating more than normal, drink the water. And then remember, you know, that your weight is gaining and your baby needs more water. So drink the water. Drink it. So that way then you don't have to go through what I went through and be all paranoid and scared that something's happening to your baby. And nothing is really happening. It's just, I mean, something's happening. It's just you're dehydrated. The muscle needs fluid. Anyways, that was my big thing I wanted to touch on, and then some of my TMI stories. Do I have anything else? Actually, if anything that I got from that experience besides the fact to drink more water, it was nice for Jacob and I to go ahead and, because we hadn't done a tour or anything, but it was kind of nice to know what to expect when we go in to actually have baby. Although, you know, it might be different because they're looking more at contractions, less just kind of trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, also if you're just wondering from that visit, because they had to check my cervix too to be sure it wasn't contractions. That's another way they knew it was just irritation. And she said she had to go way back up in there. The cervix is way back in the back and it's still super thick. So, and that was very painful. It was very painful. It was no fun at all for her to try and reach back up in there and feel. So baby's not ready. Baby's still cooking, but all is good with baby. And they were like, because they had another like button monitor for baby to monitor heart rate and stuff like that. And they're like, man, your baby's active. And I'm like, I know, I can feel it. Like, and you could see the things on my belly. They kept kicking and moving because the baby kept moving around, which I was super thankful for. That was one thing that kind of kept me calm throughout the whole thing, is like, I know my baby's moving. I can feel baby. And now granted, baby doesn't move like that every single day, but I guess baby was just putting on a show for the people at the hospital to know that this baby meant business. This baby was good. Mom was good. Just needed some fluids. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this kind of TMI story time pregnancy update. I don't think I have anything else to add at the moment. But if you're going through pregnancy, I should mention this is my first kid. I know nothing. Clearly, I know nothing. But I just like to share kind of my experience, what I'm kind of going through. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But I like to share it. I like to see other people's experience as well, even though, you know, I'm not an expert. You don't have to be an expert either. If you have any kind of comments about, you know, your own pregnancy, what you're going through, XYZ, I'd love to read them in the comments. And I'm sure other people would as well. But yeah, I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.